Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and it is the day after one of the biggest scandals in modern American history, the death of Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't even know where to begin here because there's so much to go over. Obviously, the vast majority of people are asking questions whether or not this was a suicide at all. A lot of the stuff that was thrown out there yesterday that I'm seeing on the web is completely debunkable and not backed by anything. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go through the cold, hard facts of what we know right now. And thank you, Crypto Caratist, for that super chat right off the bat. We read all super chats here, and this should be a sizable broadcast. And obviously, some of the biggest revelations that we found out yesterday, we're a little over 24 hours into this news, is that he was taken off suicide watch. Now, in order to do that, he would have had to talk to some psychologists, which is very interesting to me. Where are the reports on this? How the hell did they move him back to a special housing unit? Now, the next thing is, there should have been cameras everywhere. I discussed this after the first shock, suicide attempt, assault, whatever you want to call it. I said, why doesn't he have a body camera on top of him, on top of everything else? It didn't make any sense to me. It still doesn't make any sense to me. We're all still trying to process this. How did he get back in there? How did he get taken off suicide watch? And the idea that cameras malfunctioned has not been substantiated anywhere. I want to repeat that. Has not been substantiated anywhere. But one of the things about the El Paso shooting that the police did extremely well, and I want everybody to realize this, a huge high-profile case. Not only did the officers respond within 30 seconds and take this guy down, but there were multiple cameras around that area that were immediately released to the public within 24 hours of a press conference with law enforcement explaining what happened. Instead here, what do we have? We have the FBI stepping in for an investigation. Where's the investigate? What investigation do we need? Please, let's get this camera footage out so we can dispel all the myths that he didn't try to kill himself or that he was assassinated, etc., etc. So getting into what we know. Jeffrey Epstein's guards did not check his cell according to procedure the night he hanged himself, as pictures show his body being wheeled into hospital amid outrage that he has escaped justice. Now, here's the deal. We're going to show you some of those pictures, but one of the real reasons I came to this article, we're going to read this one from CNBC in full, but obviously this is the infamous cover, and there's another picture of his body trying to be resuscitated that's out there. We're going to go through these tweets in a second, but here he is in a body bag after the fact. This is supposed to be him in a body bag, and I know there's a ton of conspiracy theories on whether or not the pictures are Jeffrey Epstein. I'm telling you right now, that's him. And I'm going to show that to you side by side. I can't even believe I have to do that to you. Guys, I know everybody talks about ears and jaw lines and eye lines. What they don't tell you is the different lenses on cameras, the different zoom features. On top of that, I want to reiterate this. There were conspiracy theories out there a decade ago that I was Mark Dice. Okay, think about, do I look that much like Mark? Do I sound like Mark? Smash that like button. No GPS data. Thank you for that super chat. So again, here he is being put. Supposedly, this is him in the body bag, getting taken out of the hospital, okay? You see that? Here it is. We're watching it. We're watching. I don't want to get a copyright strike there, so I'm not going to hit the play button, but there you go. So it's unbelievable he wasn't under 24/7 surveillance. It's unbelievable were not cameras fixated on his cell with somebody watching that. It's unbelievable he didn't have a body camera on. So this is short and to the point. Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier who hung himself in his Manhattan jail cell, was left alone and not monitored by guards who were supposed to check on him every 30 minutes. 30 minutes, from what I'm hearing and what we discussed yesterday, there was somebody who stayed in that jail and said it was every 9 minutes. In fact, let's see, do we have that still up? There's a possibility. Maybe we'll get to it in a bit. Epstein's cellmate had been transferred out at the time of Epstein's suicide. So he still had a cellmate. That's incredible to me. Was it still Tartiglione? leaving him alone only 2 weeks after he was taken off suicide watch, a move that also violated the MCC standard protocol, of course. Epstein had been found unconscious in his cell on July 23rd with marks around his neck. And remember, we talked about the possibility that he said he had been assaulted in prison and an attempt on his life, but that was pretty unsubstantiated too. As the Justice Department and FBI investigate Epstein's death, the Federal Bureau of Prisons is under intense scrutiny for not keeping Epstein on suicide watch after his first apparent suicide attempt. Again, it beleaguers belief that, one, we don't have reports from these psychiatrists getting him off that watch. It's nuts. It's standard procedure for guards in the special housing units to look inside inmates' cell every 30 minutes, so it is unclear why Epstein's was not checked on. Like other federal prisons, the Metropolitan Correctional Center has been short-staffed for some time. The 2 guards on duty where Epstein stayed were both working overtime. One was on his 5th day straight of... so now we're going to blame this on negligence? Get the F out of here. All right? So now, like I said, the timeline was 6:30. A lot of people were reporting 7:30 a.m. I said 6:30 to 6:39 was the initial reports. And they're saying at 6:30 a.m. was when he was found. Okay. So, now the Democrats are chiming in because Trump tweeted about the quote-unquote Clinton body count. Let me tell you something right now. Donald Trump, how is this not on your and your administration's hands? You love to sign those executive orders. How did you not sign an executive order making sure this man in the most high-profile case that could have taken down the cabal, the deep state you talk so much about, not under 24/7 federal surveillance? This is as much a failure of you and your department as anybody else's. And to put this on the Clintons is just dishonest. And I'm sorry if that hurts some other people out there that were into the Clinton body count. I'm not saying, listen, they had plenty of skeletons to hide with Epstein. They are not good people. Let's make that clear. But those guys, they're like capos compared to the other people that were involved in this. Do you understand that? They're not the Don. They're not the Godfathers. I mean, there were literal billionaires out there that were connected to this. When Lady Rothschild is the one that's supposedly introducing you and Ghislaine Maxwell to Alan Dershowitz and others, when you're rolling with tech giants like Elon Musk and you have investments from people like Peter Thiel and companies you're connected to, there's bigger fish to fry. What is it? Frick Mark, inside job all day long is what he says. I mean, that, and that's the thing. There's a lot of people saying inside job. It's not like, Beta, whatever his name is. It's Beta. I mean, his name's Robert, let's be honest. So now it's all conspiracy theories. Like I said, the FBI just made about 100 million, maybe more conspiracy theorists in this country. Maybe more than 100 million. Everybody's talking about this. Does not matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. Phones are ringing, water cooler talking. People are all taking their own little perspective and spin in the limited hangout that's in the mainstream media. And hopefully that's why you're coming to me. Because I'm not doing that. I've reported all sides. I've reported about the network, where it began. We had Whitney Webb on here to go through her entire series. Do yourself a favor. Go to Mint Press News. Check out Whitney Webb. That's going to take you an hour. This right here, if you're honest with yourself, going to take you at least an hour to go over. It's mind-blowing information. And this third article on Mega also going to take you an hour. Well worth the time. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button, by the way, guys. Excuse me. So let's keep going down the line. All right, so what else is in the news other than, Trump and now conspiracy theories, and we're all bad for asking questions. Even though, guys, I want to go to my Twitter feed here. Even though guys like Michael Moore are asking about this is a conspiracy theory. Where is it? And by the way, this is interesting. Jenna Jameson, I saw this in my feed because I was going through, had tweeted, "You can ask me about Prince Andrew." Prince Andrew's name finally came out in court documents, but we'd known his name for quite some time. Port Film Co-op says, Epstein didn't die, probably spent $100 million to get out. Who knows? I mean, and listen, we're entertaining all possibilities, but I'm telling you, we're going to show you the ridiculous in the ears stuff. So Michael Moore, I want to read what he said, and I'm not pushing Michael Moore's stuff. Okay, I think he's done some good work in the past. There are some points to be made, but boy, the dumpster fire that was Fahrenheit 11/9 and how he was late to the party on so many of the major issues, and he shifted them over to Trump, made me kind of nauseated. Now we go over that. I'd love to talk to Moore in person. Just say hi to my friend Tamara, shout to Whitney Webb as well. Thank you, Kevin, for that super chat. So Michael Moore says, I guess they think a country dumb enough to elect Trump. See, it's all about Trump, which makes me sick, by the way, is stupid enough to believe Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide or not. Love that they did it on the traditional Friday night, early Saturday morning document dump time when they know the fewest people will follow it. Well, I mean, there was no having this not blow up. So again, my feed is just rife with people questioning this, okay? I mean, when Moore is saying that kind of stuff, it's pretty amazing. Jenna Jameson took her tweet down with Prince Andrew. You see, in Europe, it's a big scandal again. Their little arms dealer, their royal accused pedo is rolling around here, and they're all over him about it. They're making it about Prince Andrew again. And this is important, but let's be honest. They're a royal bloodline. They believe they rule over you. Okay, this is why in 2019, the idea that we have royalty in any regards, what do you think? This family has power? What about the Saudi royal family? You think they have power? Of course they fucking do. Excuse my French. Of course they do. How in 2019, when, we're supposed to be in a woke society of technology and democratically elected officials, do we allow this anywhere, especially with our allies? It's nuts. It's nuts, and they seem to be at the base of this thing. So let's continue on through some of the other news. Victims of Epstein can still get justice, apparently. Apparently, Berman says the federal probe into allegations against Epstein and all of his cohorts is still going on. So this is probably the best news that I can give you about this whole ordeal. And again, if you're new to the Burmese Brigade, now's the time to sub, thumbs this video up, and share. They're saying that, remember, they were opening even more investigations after they went into that New York mansion, right? So hopefully now the federales can just take all of his assets, period. Get in there, and let's pray it doesn't get co-opted in the fact that evidence is destroyed and covered up and we start going after these monsters. Ghislaine Maxwell being the main one, when those documents came out, all right, let's get over here. I want to repeat that a bunch of the co-conspirators were finally named that had not been named before, all right? People like Tony Figueroa and Ronaldo Rizzo, and we've read the Ronaldo Rizzo, the 15-year-old Swedish girl who woke up and was no longer on the island after she refused to have sex with Epstein, had her passport taken away by Maxwell. Really scary stuff. Shaking. We now had co-conspirators' names coming out. We knew the length of how many people had actually detailed Ghislaine Maxwell and what she was doing to these young girls. New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, okay? Bohemian Grove member Bill Richardson, keynote speaker over there as well. That guy who, was running the state that Epstein had his Zorro Ranch and his big ideas of eugenics, he was named the governor of the state. So names were coming out less than 24 hours later this happens, okay? So I really want to reiterate that as well. Let's jump into this. Remember, Les Wexner just before this, there's Les. He tried to distance himself even though he's connected all the way. He wrote this small little, I had no idea. Oh, I'm as shocked as everybody. This is insane. Yeah. Okay. Sure you are, buddy. So let's do it. Let's just do some debunking. Now, here's the one picture everybody's talking about, right? I'm gonna show you right here. First of all, there can't be cheekbone, ear, No, let's look at some things that actually show that this is the same exact guy. All right. So you see right here. All right. I want to do the outline here for you. See how there's like a little Y baby, like it almost looks like a fetus kind of thing. He's got the same exact thing going on right here. You can see the indents. You're going to get different lighting, but it's right there, all right? That's the same, exactly. He's got the little protrusion right here. Remember, first of all, he's kind of purple here, all right? Protrusion is the same right there, all right? And by the way, these probably have taken 15, 20 years beside each other. Now, everybody's pointing to the way his nose was here and the nose was here. Again, probably a different angle, but if you look here, all right, look at his nose. See that arch? See here? And you see how even right there's a little highlight in between? Same thing really right here. Everything about this photo screams to me that this is a genuine photo of Epstein, being taken in. That means that every medic here has to be in on it. Everybody, they take it in, the body bag, et cetera, et cetera. Anything's possible with the resources of our intelligence communities out there and his kind of money. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I mean, the guy did look quite purple. So I know a lot of other people are sharing anonymous messages that are on boards, and obviously this nurse is telling the truth. We don't do anonymous messages. You wanna blow the whistle, you can. We did mention yesterday that Ben Sass is one of the people actually asking big questions about this, and should be. And we played you the video here. I'm not sure if it's gonna mark up to where we were. Probably not.
The report continues.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So this is Ben Sass grilling Bob Barr about the Epstein case prior to that, right? In fact, let's just play a little bit. And this is where Barr had to recuse himself because he worked for, I believe it was Kellerman and Ellis, who took the Epstein case. Hopefully we're being truthful, and the DOJ and the FBI and the federales are going to expand this case and go after the co-conspirators, and it's far from over. But remember, this happened.
He was also suspected of trafficking minor girls, often from overseas, for sex parties at his other homes in Manhattan, New Mexico, and the Caribbean. The Herald series continues, quote, in 2007, despite ample physical evidence and multiple witnesses,
I hope it doesn't get lost from the news, Frick
federal
Mark.
Prosecutors and Epstein's lawyers quietly put together a remarkable deal for Epstein, then age 54. He agreed to plead guilty to 2 felony prostitution charges in state court, and in exchange, he and his accomplices received immunity from federal sex trafficking charges that could have sent him to prison for the rest of his life.
Rest of his life.
He served 13 months in a private wing of the Palm Beach County Stockade. His alleged co-conspirator...
And remember, he didn't really even serve that much time. There's an investigation into all that, and there's actually 2 different investigations into how the Palm Beach police handled that after the fact.
Who helped schedule his sex sessions were never prosecuted, and the deal, called, again, this is the Miami Herald, a federal non-prosecution agreement, was sealed so that no one, not even his victims, could know the full scope of Epstein's crimes and who else was involved, close quote. The fact that federal prosecutors appear to have crafted this secret sweetheart deal for a child rapist obviously enrages moms and dads everywhere. On this particular case, will you commit to making sure that there's a full and thorough investigation into the way DOJ handled the Epstein case?
So, Senator, I have to recuse myself from Kirkland and Ellis matters, I am told, and I think Kirkland and Ellis was maybe involved in that case. So I need to sort out exactly what my role can be. But
yeah, so there it is. I mean, he recused himself from the initial case. He didn't recuse himself from the current one. However, where do we go from here? I'm not quite sure. Remember, he said he would not recuse himself from the new case after this arrest. So hopefully he's true to his word and we start going after a bunch of these monsters, period. With that being said, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos a day. If you have information on this case, please DM me on Twitter. Real stuff, not Johnny nonsense, real news reports, actual stuff that I can talk about. What else do we have over here? Oh, yeah, we got this GoFundMe going. And this is how I support myself. This is how I keep up and do this 7 days a week. We're about 3/4 of the way through it. We're not even 3/5 of the way through there, but we're going to charge through, and I appreciate everybody. Remember, if you can't support me on this, I totally get it. Please share my stuff on blogs, on social media, bring it over to Reddit, and let's get a voice out there that's not about conservatism or liberalism, right, left, false paradigm nonsense, but about right and wrong and bringing down the predator class. With that being said, guys, I will see you all on the flip side.